Welcome back, all you career breakers. Thanks for being here. Welcome to another edition of the Break podcast and video newsletter. I am your host, Michael Garden. Before we get started, a big thank you to our sponsors for helping me bring this newsletter to you. If you're looking for a new job or looking to hire in 2023, start with ZipRecruiter today and find the best opportunities and candidates out there. I'm proud to partner with this award-winning company to bring you this newsletter absolutely free. And UiZard, a new AI-powered app to help you visualize and communicate ideas effortlessly. No design experience required. Design stunning wireframes, apps, websites, and interfaces in minutes. All right, today at a glance. So we're going to be talking about this idea of the pathless path and how it relates to overwhelm. To live an authentic life, we must master this feeling of overwhelm. And I'm going to explain a few helpful decision-making ideas, which are called razors. And then I'm going to tell you about a razor that I created called Garden's Razor. And you can use it the next time you have too many options that you need to think through. So this pathless path and overwhelm. I had the privilege of talking to Paul Millard last week on the Break podcast. Paul's an inspiration for those like me choosing to reject the default path in pursuit of a more creative life that integrates work and personal. I highly recommend checking out his book, The Pathless Path. It's been super influential for me. I had a great time talking to him, and I can't wait to bring that episode to you very soon. So the rub here with taking this pathless path is that we have to figure out our own way, which means we have to try things. And when we try things, we split our attention. And that can get us trapped in the overwhelm of flailing without seeming to make progress. All the gurus tell us to focus and buckle down. But we can only do that when we have high confidence that the path we are on is the right one. So we have to constantly balance how many options we give ourselves with a system for deciding when to press on and when to kill an idea. And this is the essence of what I'm trying to do with my work. It's the essence of my advantage mapping program, is to try to give people tools to evaluate what progress and success looks like so you can have confidence in your path. We aim to deal well with uncertainty and create a systematic, high-odds approach to aligning who you are with what you do. So I'd love you to check that out if that's of interest to you. Now, getting on to Garden's Razor. So here's the trick I developed over the years of dealing with this problem. And I teach this mental shortcut in my coaching to deal with the overwhelm of what should I do with my life question. It's called Garden's Razor. Well, because I came up with it, so I get to name it. Wait. But what the hell is a razor? A razor is a philosophical heuristic or mental shortcut designed to shave off unnecessary information overload to simplify decision-making or solve a problem. You can think of them as rules of thumb for decision-making. So I've studied these razors for years as a way to combat my own mental blind spots and to help me make better decisions. So here are a couple of my favorites. Hanlon's razor, which states, never attribute to malice what can be explained by stupidity. This one is helpful for trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, because most ill that happens to us isn't the result of actual willful malice, but rather ignorance, stupidity, or carelessness. And there is a difference. Very few people are actually out to get you. And the next one is Occam's razor, which simply put is the simplest explanation is preferable to the more complex explanation. It's how we would state that in simple language. Basically, if all else is equal, the path with the least moving parts and complexities is statistically more probable to be correct and more sound fundamentally. I use both of these mental shortcuts on a weekly basis. So here's Garden's Razor. This states that to live a creative and fulfilled life, one must diversify just enough to be dynamic, but not to the point of fostering inaction. The magic number is to only have 3 options. Basically, you never want to give yourself more than 3 options to work on, ever, or you get overwhelmed. Give yourself 1 option and you're not diversified. You're optimizing. You have no backup plan if you're wrong. But 4 or more options is really, really hard to make progress on any one thing at a time. So look at like people who really focus on 3 income streams, 3 active income streams anymore. And it's a ends up being a disaster. You can stack them, but only once you get a couple of them going. We teach no more than 3 career experiments at the same time when we're trying to find our path. That's why most of the good advice out there is to never set more than 3 goals. It's because it's very hard to have more than 3 priorities at any one time. So the idea here is to diversify a little bit, but keep the number small so you'll move faster and make easier decisions. So how we banish overwhelm. The next time you're overwhelmed with life choices, do what Warren Buffett suggests. Here's my amended version of Warren's advice. Go make a list of all your options and your priorities. Circle the top 3 that make the most sense for you to look at right now, and throw the rest of the list away until you thoroughly test out those 3. Only then go back to the list and reevaluate. So I think this is so important in this idea of having to balance the pathless path and balance options and try new things is so important. I want to read one of my favorite passages from Steve Jobs on this very topic. Steve says, to be a creative person, you need to feed or invest in yourself by exploring uncharted paths that are outside the realm of your past experience. Seek out new dimensions of yourself, especially those that carry a romantic scent. But one has no way of knowing which of these paths will lead anywhere in advance. That's the wonderful thing about it, in a way. The only thing one can do is to believe that some of what you follow with your heart will indeed come back to make your life much richer. And it will. And you will gain an ever firmer trust in your instincts and intuition. The enemy of most dreams and intuitions, and one of the most dangerous and stifling concepts ever invented by humans, is the career. A career is a concept for how one is supposed to progress through stages during a training for and practicing of your working life. But there are some big problems here. First and foremost is the notion that your work is different and separate from the rest of your life. If you are passionate about your life and your work, this can't be so. They will become more or less one. This is a much better way to live one's life. The risk factor quotient goes down as you encounter the real world. Many people find what they believe to be safe harbors, only wake up 10 or 15 years later and discover the price they paid. Make your avocation your vocation. Make what you love your work. This is the essence of advantage mapping. It's the essence of this podcast and newsletter, The Break. I want you to try things. I want you to discover what makes you come alive. And I want you to do that for the rest of your life. Go out and have a great rest of the week, everybody.